Oh, now you're live.
There we are.
Yes, there you go.
And welcome, my dear friend Calvin Hughes,
Yes, my love.
uh, WPLG Channel 10 Super Anchor. And as you see at the bottom, Handsome Hughes.
I don't know how that got there,
You
Joe.
know, some genie put that there for you, who knows you quite well. So, Calvin, how are you? As always, you are out doing the good and admirable work. Thank you, first of
Thank you.
all.
Thank you.
And you thank you for calling me on your work currently in Haiti. Most of South Florida and the country knows that you have been integral in covering Haiti in a
Thank you.
way that many broadcasters just in general have not. And it holds a very special place in your heart. Yes.
Yes, it does. From the very first moment that I went over there, it's 15 years ago,
Mhm.
and I will tell you that for anybody who goes over there, it is a place that actually arrests your heart. You
Mhm.
cannot leave there and not want to go back over and over and over again, simply based on what you hear versus what you see, two totally different things. Um, I think there was a great book that was written on Haiti, and the title of the book was Haiti is a Beautiful Nightmare.
Wow.
And you talk about a conflict of words there.
Hmm.
The mountains. They have caves, beautiful beaches, incredible. I mean, you're obviously surrounded by water, um, just beautiful scenery everywhere. And yet, the country is a nightmare as it relates to politics, natural disasters, the poverty that is there, the people who are just struggling day to day, folks who are trying to survive on $2 a day. But yet, when you go to some of the smallest villages, the little hamlets, they will give you the shirt off their backs simply based on the fact that you've taken the time out to come to their village and spend
Hmm.
time with them. I mean, I've kicked soccer balls with little kids there to obviously I've been to the major cities there, and everybody treats you the same way. But I know the rumor is that obviously the kidnappings and on and on and on, clearly that's a big issue, but desperation brings out desperate times. I'm not
Right.
justifying what these guys are doing,
Right.
but when you're desperate, you got to eat.
Well, many third world countries. Haiti is really you. It's not unique in the struggles that many countries outside of the United States have. However, it is unique in that the coverage, particularly this time, to me, is strikingly absent.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will point to the coverage of Afghanistan
Yes.
just overwhelming the news cycle. However, um, we have there are more news channels than we can count,
Right.
and there's certainly enough room for the coverage of Haiti and what's happening there. What would you attribute to why we are seeing so little news of what's happening in Haiti
Well,
right now?
Jill. Well, you and I have talked about this before.
Hmm.
So I think there are a few things going on. You and I both know you've been in the industry long enough to know. Well, you've been in. I mean, obviously you are a veteran, but you also know that timing is everything.
Yes.
So the Afghanistan news, obviously, and the pictures, the historic pictures coming out of Afghanistan happened around the same time as August 14th of the earthquake.
Hmm.
So July 7th, the assassination, there was a ton of coverage for that.
Right.
But then the earthquake happened on August 14th. And I think and then obviously Tropical Storm Grace happened as well.
Hmm.
So I think you had back to back to back things that were going on there that were calamitous for any nation, not
Right.
just Haiti. But when you add to the quake happened and then you had Tropical Storm Grace, it was tough to get into the country. Folks were not able to get into the country. It wasn't until maybe a week or 2 weeks ago that the United States actually was able to get humanitarian aid through
Hmm.
there in a way that they really wanted to get it to some of the smaller remote areas. simply based on the fact that Tropical Storm Grace did a number on the country.
Right.
So, but I think when you add to that, people weren't able to get in to show the pictures. There was the danger aspect of some of the gangs that were cutting off the roads to get access to the folks who were in the quake zone.
Mm-hmm.
Also, add to that the fact that everything was going on in Afghanistan, which has a major political element to it.
Right.
And I think CNN and those guys have really become more political than they are newsy on many days. Exactly. That it was just a perfect storm not to cover Haiti in a way that it should have been covered.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
And honestly, locally, and now with your piece on Wednesday nationally, had it not been for you and many people in the Haitian community, Wanda Tima comes to mind. Cox Media Group has reached out to you as well. Maestro Powell, they've really, stepped up to the plate to help do some of the work. However, do you think there's a deeper apathy of what's happening to people on the island?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I mean, to have their president assassinated, who wasn't the most popular guy,
Mm-hmm.
and then to add to the fact that 4 million people are just, um, you know, food stricken. I mean, they are just living without the basic necessities that it requires for us to survive on a day-to-day basis. 4 million. There are only 11 million people on the island. So a third, basically
Of the
more
people
than
on
a
the island.
third. Yeah. So, and you add obviously to Tropical Storm Grace, and then on top of that, an earthquake that was more devastating than the one that happened 11 years ago.
Right.
It's unthinkable what's going on. Not to mention they were supposed to have presidential elections. That's not going to happen until next year. They don't even have a full. It would be like the United States not having a full Congress. They don't have a full parliament. They only have like 11 senators. That place is really, really going through the worst time you could argue in its history since winning its independence. Since winning 1804, yes.
Because you had the tragedy of the assassination of the president, and followed by the storm. Now you were able to. I think, probably one of the only journalists who has had the opportunity to speak to the First Lady of Haiti.
Yeah.
So tell me about that. That's going to be an ABC news special.
So it is going to be on. Yes, it's going to be on Channel 10, 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
This Wednesday, in just a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be a half hour. She was able to talk with me about what happened that night. Mm-hmm. And when I say able to, because for anybody to keep reliving what happened to you on the worst day of your life, and to wake up, first of all, when the gunmen burst into the room, as she told me, they keep she told me that they kept their bedroom unlocked. They just trusted the security team. So they kept their bedroom door unlocked. Gunmen burst into the room, shot her first, and then stood over her husband at gunpoint. And she said she was lying on the floor and had blood coming from her mouth, blood coming from her arm. Her elbow, by the way, she'll never have use of it again. The bullet shattered her elbow. She said the skin was holding her, the top part of her arm and her forearm together. And so she said she looked over and saw that, but yet, she was lying on the floor as if she was dead. The gunman stood over her husband. They went around the bedroom looking for a document. She has no idea what the document is, she told me. Mm-hmm. They found the document, made a phone call, speaking in Spanish. She says she understands Spanish. She does not speak Spanish. She did not fully understand what they were saying. Mm-hmm. But whatever they said, the man got off the phone, AK-47s, standing over her husband. She says about a dozen men. They shot him from head to toe, a dozen times, a dozen times.
And she
So,
witnessed this.
and so I asked her, was he tortured? She said no, he was not tortured. No resistance because he had 12 men over him, and
Mhm.
he didn't say much. Um, I'm sure he probably asked them to spare his life, but he also probably knew that they were not going to do
Not
that.
going to. Yeah.
And she said they shot him from head to toe. She was very emotional, very candid, very smart woman,
Hmm.
um, and forthcoming with information. Her husband. What's interesting is that I didn't know this, and she had spoken to the New York Times.
Hmm.
She said that for about a half hour, they were shooting. They were trying to shoot through the walls of the house on the
Oh no.
outside, just shooting. And then she said she knew at some point that security was going to stop them. They were going to
Right.
step in and say, all right,
Yeah.
this is going to come to an end. There's
Hmm.
gunshots around the house. This is very unusual. Then she said the gunshots started getting louder. And she's like, okay, at some point,
This has got to.
somebody's going to stop this,
Right.
you know? And she said at that point, she started thinking about her kids, 2 kids in the house. Went to her, kneeling down, crawling on the floor, went to their bedroom. Guys, get into the safe room here where there are no windows.
Hmm.
Just protect yourself. And she said, went back to her husband. Jovenel Moise was just off the phone. Honey, who'd you call? He says, babe, don't worry about it. I got security teams coming over here. They're going to take care of this. This is all going to stop. Again, she's thinking about her kids. She's like, okay, she felt fine. Next thing she knew, guys burst in, shot her. And that,
Oh my God.
yeah, I know. So she says, I said, well, I said, this is hard to believe that nobody resisted anything.
Right.
She says, resist? She says, what are you talking about, resist? She says, they didn't even put up a fight.
Yeah.
She says, to resist is to mean that somehow you were
Mhm.
you were out there trying to stop
Right.
them. She says, they didn't even put up a fight. So she says, somebody on the inside knew something. Somebody on the inside knew something. It was
And now, is there? So who is there to investigate
well.
that?
So the judge who was on the case, he quit. He said that he didn't feel safe. They have
Right.
another judge who people have talked about his credentials and said not qualified. You have the prosecutor who was on the case. He somehow turned up dead. You have
Right.
investigators on the case who say they've been threatened backwards and forwards. So, I mean, every day they've been. So, exactly. Look, like John F. Kennedy,
Mhm.
like Dr. King,
Mhm.
like Malcolm X.
Malcolm.
We can go on it.
I
Like
was gonna say we could
Medgar
go down.
Evers.
Yeah, we go down the list.
Go on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
We'll never
Mm.
know
Mm.
who did it. And that's it. And that's an investigation from the United States.
Right.
We're not even talking about, obviously justice in Haiti, as many have said, is just a word, not even an institution. It's just a word.
Yeah.
You can make the same argument that what happened here will happen there. It'll be a conspiracy that will live on the internet for generations
Forever
to come.
and never
Yes.
be solved. So, did she discuss her plans? Does she ever plan to return to Haiti?
Boy, you asked a great question. You went right on in. Let me let me just say that is an element that I will say that that's in the half hour special. She sort of leaves it as a cliffhanger,
Mm-hmm.
but if I were a guessing person, Jill, she will definitely run for president. She'll run.
Wow.
No doubt she'll run.
Wow. Now that.
Which
No,
made
go
me,
ahead.
oh, Jill, which made me ask the question: if they couldn't protect your husband, What would
Right.
make, okay, so you already know what I'm about to say.
Right.
What would make, how do you sleep with one eye open? Do you ever get any sleep? When do you sleep? Where do you
How
sleep?
could you, right, ever sleep
Oh,
again?
dear God. I would, man, come on, Jill.
So, and what did you get any sense of what that what that passion is that she has to have survived all of this and
Yeah,
still be committed
yeah.
to the cause of running Haiti, helping Haiti? That
She's
is
a,
an amazing moment right there. I
well,
can't even.
she's loyal to the policies of her husband.
Mm,
She is loyal to seeing the country be turned around. She's loyal to change, and she's loyal to a brighter future for a country that needs a lot of hope and help. So, in answer to your question, she's extremely
mhm.
strong. She is, um, she feels like there's a reason why God spared her life.
Her.
And for anybody who's been in a position like that where your life has been in danger, or I mean, look, I mean, she could have
Yeah,
died. I mean, they could have finished the job before walking out, Jill.
yeah.
They did not. So why
There's
did they?
definitely,
Yeah,
yeah, and when you said that, it really, she mentally and spiritually is in a place we'll never know.
exactly. Exactly.
And in that space, yeah, that makes sense.
I mean,
Yeah.
what do you do? What do you do,
Right.
Jill, when you are in a position to where you feel like there's a purpose to your
Right.
life? I mean, what? I, so is she going to remain here? She said the only reason why she is still in the United States and
Hmm.
not in Haiti is because the doctors told her that she needs to continue to monitor her arm, and they need to continue to monitor her arm.
Right.
But
And
uh-huh.
there's no way that can happen in Haiti right now.
Right, exactly.
It's
Well,
just,
I mean,
yeah,
exactly. She won't get the kind of care
no,
that she needs
no.
to to regain some mobility, even of her fingers, in Haiti. So she needs to remain here. But she says once doctors clear her and
Hmm.
say she can go back,
She's going back.
she's on the next plane, the very first one out of here to go back to Haiti. That's strength. That's incredible. I know resilience and
Yeah,
words that we don't even have in our dictionary
yeah.
for that kind of courage. But I will tell you, Jill, that's a tall order. And you and I both know the Caribbean is a very patriarchal society. So
Yes.
men, yeah, exactly. So men dominate, and as a result, are they going to elect a female
Mm,
president? Would they ever consider electing a female president? There have been women in power in other positions.
right.
In fact, I interviewed the last female prime minister of Haiti, whose name, her first name is Michelle, but her last name does not come to mind right now. I will think of it. Um, Wonderful, wonderful woman, by the way, very
Mm,
smart. Um, Always receptive when I would come over there. But I will tell you that it would be interesting to see how that goes. So let me set up the political dynamic for you.
mm,
So Michel Martelly, the former president of Haiti,
hmm.
says to Jovenel Moise, "I know you've never been elected to political office. Keep the seat warm for me
For
because
me.
in Haiti you cannot have back-to-back terms because they're 5-year terms, not 4-year terms, unlike the United States. So you cannot win elections back to back." So Michel Martelly says to Jovenel Moise, "Keep the seat warm for me. I'm going to run for re-election um, in 5 years." Jovenel wins the presidency. Jovenel says, "Okay." Obviously, what happened to Jovenel on July 7th happens, and Michel Martelly is still waiting to say, "Hey, look, I'm going to run for president." He hasn't announced. but my feeling is it's just a matter of time.
Time.
And my sources say just a matter of time. But anyway, he says, I'm going to come back. But now his wife says, oh, just 1 second. I'm running. So this is what you have. Exactly. Can you say drama?
Wow.
That's political drama.
That is.
Now, they were best friends. Now, the wife, the former first lady, and now the first lady of Haiti were friends. Keyword being were. Are they?
I was going to say keyword in that sentence is were.
Because in politics, it gets real nasty. If you and I are running, I'm going to find some dirt on you.
Right.
Somewhere. And I'm going to bring it out.
Yeah.
Now, it's politics. It's not personal. But it becomes personal when I bring something out about you that is personal.
Right.
Talk about your love life. Talk about your finances. Something didn't go right. You bounced a check. So you didn't pay a bill.
It's somewhere.
Go right. And I'm going to bring it out. And
how did you survive and he didn't? Yeah.
Come on now. And in politics, this is how we play.
Yeah.
And when you're running for the most powerful position in government, oh, I'm bringing everything up.
Wow. So now how are you able to, she's in America and she'll be here for a while.
Yeah.
So have you been back to Haiti since?
You know what? My plan is to go back. I'm trying to, so with the charity I'm a part of, which you've featured on your late night talk show, Hot Talk. Yes, absolutely. Angels for Humanity. We're going to go over there, try to spotlight a school that we can help rebuild over there that was damaged by the quake. And then we're going to raise money for it at our big event that's coming up on October 4th, which I hope you'll be able to come out for. And because of that, I will be going over there probably in the next week or two. I'm not sure when, but it'll be.
Well, don't tell nobody. I don't need to know.
I know. But it'll be a day trip. It'll be.
Those are some recon missions, if ever there were. So.
I know. But yeah, we're gonna go and spotlight a school. Give out some buckets of rice and beans and food and all these care packages, and then we're going to come back. First flight in, last flight out. Yeah.
So and I mentioned earlier, there are a couple of people, Valencia Gunder, Lex Pierre. There are a couple of other charities. Is there a concentrated effort from South Florida in any way, or is everybody just kind of doing whatever they can?
You know what? There are so many different people who are doing things.
Jose Andres, yeah.
Exactly. And you have to be, look, I will not say that, this group is better, this one is better.
Right.
I'll just say if you can latch yourself onto a particular group, and if you feel comfortable in knowing that they are going to definitely get the materials there, which is the biggest issue. It's just getting it through all of the red tape. And then once you get it through all the red tape, actually getting it to the people who need it the most, always a challenge, even before the earthquake. But I will tell you that our group I'm going to personally deliver the items. That's rule number one for us. Secondly, global empowerment. I think Michael Capone, who we are actually partnering with, he's actually taking ships over there. Every 3 weeks, huge ships. You see the video. He sends it to me. I can see it. There's nothing made up about it.
Okay.
Calvin? Yeah, I know. I'm here.
Okay. I'm like, Jesus, what is going on?
I know.
They tapped his phone.
I know. Somebody called me.
Okay.
But no, I was just going to say, I am going, we are partnering with him, and we're going to go over there, and we're going to put our stuff on a ship. We're also going to fly over there to make sure that it gets over there.
Awesome. And if people want to help, if there's, if they can get, how do they get in where they fit in?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post something on my Facebook page. Okay. And I hope that they will go there, and also on my Instagram page, to where, and I will tag you on it, Jill, just so that you're able to put it out there, but we're asking for quite a few things, and because of that, it's too numerous to name. But
Yeah.
if they go to my Facebook page, I will put it on there, and so that they will know where to give. We're also going to partner with the Faith Center and their Dare to Care program, which
Hmm.
is in Sunrise. Bishop Henry Fernandez. We're gonna partner with him and try to raise goods and get some things over there as well. He has a large Haitian American
Very large. Yeah.
population, yeah, that goes to his church. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we are trying to. Huh?
He's been on Hot Talk. He's just
Oh,
really doing amazing work. And
he's
yeah,
fantastic.
fantastic. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of his. Yes,
Awesome. So listen, most importantly, thank you for, giving voice,
thank you.
because if it weren't for you right now, Calvin, honestly, there
Wow.
really would be no direct connect, and we
Yes.
certainly would not have the opportunity on Wednesday
Yes.
to hear from the First Lady one-on-one. And that is again at ABC News, 8 o'clock on Wednesday.
Yes. Channel 10, ABC, whatever it is on your Comcast.
Right.
For me, it's channel 431. So whatever it is on your Comcast, go to it at 8 o'clock on Wednesday. I'm telling you, it's compelling television. It's wonderful stuff. I'm going to be posting some stuff all week long so people can get like an excerpt. We're also going to do like a preview on our newscast. If not tonight, we're going to do it tomorrow at 4, 5, 6, and 11 o'clock so that people can get like a little appetizer of what the 30-minute special is going to be.
Yeah, and I'll be sharing this as well on my reports with James T. One coming up, as a matter of fact, at 11:50, and on Wednesday as well. So listen, thank you, Calvin, as always, fighting the good fight and keeping us informed. And I look forward to, one day again soon we'll be able to go into a studio.
I
Face
know,
to
I
face, but
know, I miss
thank
it.
goodness, for the power of technology.
I miss it.
That,
I miss it.
yeah,
I miss it so much. And
I know.
how are you doing? How are you doing, by the way? I know you were dealing
I,
with some craziness.
yeah, well, out here doing the good job, and managed a year and a half to fight COVID, and then hello, it showed
Yeah,
up at my doorstep.
yeah,
But to the point, I'm gonna do a show about that as well, because I was vaccinated early on. I didn't have any issues with vaccinations. And I have to tell you that my symptoms, thank God, were very mild
that's good.
because I had been vaccinated, but I had a lot of comorbidities that had I not been vaccinated, I would be on a ventilator someplace.
Man, Jill, that's
Under no,
yeah, that's right.
and so it just really, at first I didn't think I could ever catch it. Why, I don't know, but I just thought I would never, get it. And but having been vaccinated and lived through it with very, very mild symptoms, praise God. It is just not even worth it.
Yeah,
Anybody who is on the fence about it, don't try it. Just don't try it. That's, I just hope I can be a voice to people to, please, my God, go get vaccinated.
Jill, you said
Yeah.
everything. That's the takeaway from everything you just said.
Yeah.
Go
Get
get
vaccinated.
the damn shot.
Period.
I mean,
Period.
good God Almighty.
Yeah.
I had a guy telling me yesterday, he's from Jamaica, his wife is from Haiti. He says, hey man, on the island, man, we do our herbs, we exercise. I said, okay. And when he finished, I said, man, get the shot.
Right.
Stop playing around. Get the shot.
I don't care how much aloe juice or whatever y'all drinking, exactly, thinking it's, all the remedies is gonna stop. Because we don't know where it came from. So how's all that gonna fix it?
Okay. I mean, I do ginger root. I do a smoothie every day. All that stuff. I mean, juices, berries. I'm telling you, I am a health nut. Although I love my ice cream, I'm a health nut.
Right.
At the same time, you have to get a layer of protection. I'm not saying, look, no one knows what we put into our body. But you know, I didn't research everything that went into the vaccine, but here's what I know: it offers a layer of protection that provided me protection from measles, mumps, chickenpox, all these things. But then I asked those tens of millions of people, which made Pfizer a multi-billion-dollar company, and that is when they offered a Viagra. Did you know what was in it?
Right.
So go back to Pfizer and get the shot. Come on now.
Thank you. Same people. And if you cared that much about, you know, being upright, then you would want to be alive as well.
Being upright.
You know.
If you want to stand at attention for okay.
Thank you, to save your life. Okay. Hey, so you right. All that Viagra will mean something to you. Thank you. I tell you. Calvin Hughes, thank you, my dear.
All right, my love.
I'll talk to you soon. We're still due for lunch, so you know.
Yes. And October 24th, Catwalk for Charity. Remember, I want you there. And also, can we get back on your show to talk about
I was gonna say, well, you know, you definitely got to come back and bring the crew, and I
will.
And we'll talk about because we didn't get a chance to, you know, to do it on, and so now this will actually run on Sunday as well after the fact, those of you who missed it. But it'll run Monday and Wednesday. Yeah, so you all can make sure that you watch the special on Channel 10 Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Calvin Hughes will speak one-on-one with the First Lady of Haiti. And you know, you really, those of you who like, I don't know, and we do still have a lot of people like that, and it's unfortunate that you know, I don't know nothing about Haiti, and I don't know what's going on over there, and all that voodoo, and you know what?
Come on.
You know what? But there are people who that we all of us melanated people came from the same place at some point. People.
Hey,
stop playing with it. So, you know, and there is power in unity. So please take the time to sit down and watch the special and do what you can to reach out to Haitian people in your community who can help shed some light.
That's right.
And help you understand and help you have some empathy for what is happening for our brothers and sisters in Haiti.
Thank you, Jill. Really
thank you.
It. Yes.
Love you, mean it.
All right. Love you.
All right. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks, guys. It'll be live, so make sure you tell your friends to check it out. Love you, mean it.